Hello guys, welcome to the sixth video, Cody's first blog. Let's get started. So this is Cody's first blog. He wrote it using PHP. So something about server tugging outside inside in a function called include an input field to add a comment. The first thing says about first input you saw, what platform is this running, and the code injection. Okay, so I have a tool called Vaporizer, which let's refresh it once. So this tool tells me about the different technologies this website is using. So you can see it's using Ubuntu as OS, Nginx as web server, and PHP as its programming language. We can see it's PHP 5.5.9. It's pretty old version. The current stable version of PHP is 7 point something. So obviously it's an old version, and it certainly has many bugs. The final point talks about some sort of a code injection. So we obviously would like to try a alert script payload, right? But because this is in pretty old PHP version, let's try to inject PHP payload. Perhaps why not? So that would be PHP. Let's try to echo hello world. Hello world. Okay, let's submit. Yeah, that is our first flag. Comment submitted and awaiting approval. Okay, interesting. Let's go back into the second hands, check everything provided, unused code, simple guessing. So now what you see in this page is what the developer wants, but you can go into the developer console and then see the HTML files, the JavaScript, and almost everything developer wrote. You can do it by pressing Ctrl Shift I, and this is the element section of the page where you will see all the HTML file. Like from my own personal experience, there have been many instances when I commented out something important in my HTML file and forgot to delete it. Likewise, many times I cancel out something sensitive. So you should always keep your eyes on them. So in this case, this admin.auth.inc, this is the link to the admin panel. That will be page admin.auth.inc. Okay, so this is an admin panel. So obviously you like to use some of the most common username and password to try to log in. That will be admin and admin. But yeah, I tried many of these most common username and password, but it didn't work. So again, there is another vulnerability of this PHP version, and that is this admin.auth.inc. So auth for authenticate. If you remove it, it will simply take you to the admin panel, and here you can approve your comment. So if you approve your comment, and then if you and guys, yeah, the Java second flag. So and if you go back to home page, if you see the element section of this page, we can see our comment was published, but because there is some sort of a security mechanism on stand, in this PHP code could not get executed. Okay, anyway, let's go to dot flag. It says that it first blog post carefully, file inclusion, access your own stored data, and include doesn't just work for file names. So to understand this, I would like to take you on a small journey. So from here now how we access the admin page, right? So let's do something different. So page equals to, if there is admin.inc page, perhaps there is some page called one. So let me explain you the error message we have here. So it tells that include one that PHP failed to open the stream, no such file or directory in such PHP online 21. So it's obviously clear that we are in this index.php file, which is inside the app directory, and there was an error on line 21 in index.php, and the error is because of this include function. If you put 2 here, it will say to .php. So .php is appended by itself, and then it tries to include that page into the index.page. So it's trying to call another page within index.php. So now let me explain you about the file inclusion thing. So this include is used to include another file, right? But this is not safe. Let's say I have a evil page called http evil .php. So I can simply use here http evil, so that will include http evil.php will be opened by itself, and then evil page will be included within the index.php, and that's obviously not what you want. But luckily, if you go to the home page, it tells that the server can talk to the outside world, but only to the inside. So it actually cannot talk to some other page or some other server outside, right? It can only talk within itself. So perhaps we would like to see what is inside the index.php file, right? Because if you see the third hint, it says like where is your data stored. I mean, obviously your data is stored in the database, but all of this data is being rendered in the index.php, right? So perhaps we would like to see what is in the index.php. So simply write index.php will be appended by itself, but then it says some allowed memory size stuff, so it's most probably some sort of a Stack Overflow error, I guess. This is a PHP code which is being hosted in some server, say let's say XAMPP server, and then this server can also be accessed via a localhost at HTTP localhost. We will try to access that, right? So let's say HTTP / localhost, but we know that php is going to be appended at the end, so localhost.php, it doesn't make any sense. But this localhost is pointing to index.php by default, but that index.php file can also be accessed by writing index, and .php will open it by itself. So if you try to open this, you can actually see to comment section, and this is the index.php. This comes from, I think, something else, but we included index.php twice, right? We are calling index.php within index.php. That's why you can see this code twice. But we actually want to see the code, right? This is what a developer wants to see. We actually want to see how the code, like PHP and HTML, everything is written, and we know this is the old PHP version, and we can inject a PHP payload. So let's try to print out all the index.php. You can do that by php read file. We want to read index.php. Like this, and also, like, you have, do you remember, you have to also confirm it. Okay, and now let's try to re-render the index.php within index.php. Okay, and if you see the code in the view source mode, tada, you can see the code and the flags here. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. If you have any question, leave it down in the comment section.